Around the world there are thousands of languages, many of which have unique scripts. Many of these scripts can be used on a computer, but for many smaller language groups, their script doesn't work so well. Meet Bob. Bob grew up speaking one of these languages, and he would love to be able to type his language on a computer. But he can't. However, Bob has a friend who works at Pipe University. Meet Jim. Bob asks Jim to help him be able to type his language on computer, and Jim is happy to help. For Jim to help Bob, he needs to understand Bob's script. Bob has a primer for his language which helps a lot. Jim then writes a proposal to add the characters Bob needs into Unicode. Unicode is an internationally agreed standard on how computers store different characters. Jim takes the proposal that he and Bob have worked out to the International Committee, and after about 2 to 3 years, Jim is finished and Bob's script is added to the Unicode standard. Bob and his friend don't have to wait for the standard to be finished, they can start with it right now. But how? Bob is going to need a font, so he starts drawing. Because Unicode is a character encoding, if one character has 2 forms, there is only one code. This means that fonts have to become smart enough to know which shapes to use and when. The result? Bob can now see his language on the screen. But Bob still can't type. How is he going to enter his text on the computer? He is going to need a keyboard layout. Bob has discussed the layout with his friends, and with Jim's technical help, they are able to create a brand new keyboard layout, purpose-built for his language. Sorting words in languages for this part of the world, as you would need to when making a dictionary, can be difficult. Very often there is no agreement on the right way to sort, and Bob's language is no exception. But eventually the community agrees. Jim comes up with a description of the sort order that works. With all these pieces in place, Bob is in a good position to work with his language on the computer just like any other. He can produce dictionaries, create websites, and write books, giving life to his language and preserving his culture.